Namaskar, Pranam, Jai Guru. Welcome. Welcome everyone. The springtime is coming up. Autumn. Today we are going to talk about, as our journey, as we are proceeding, we'll continue to find that from where we had started and where we are now, it's something very exciting, something beautiful, something very nice for us to experience, that the ignorance, which is the principal reason for us suffering in this world, for which we do our prayers, is progressively getting cut by the sword of knowledge and getting firmly established with the practices of Raja Yoga, Kriya Yoga, with our work, selfless work for our family, for our office, for our country, for the people around, and by the love for God, love for everyone. How is it all getting tied up? Today we have some questions. We will deal with them, and you will see as the questions are coming up, the level of the questions are really very nice and challenging and increasing. So I appreciate the way you all are coming up with these, and understanding levels have gone up a lot. Let us start with a prayer. Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Mother of the universe, Jagat Janani, Divine Mother, hold our hand. Guide us, take us from unreal to real, from darkness of ignorance to wisdom of light of knowingness, from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. We seek the blessings and the guidance of ever-presence, our Mahavatar Babaji, the deathless master, Kalpi Yogi, and Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, he is spoken about Yoga Kshema Vaham Vaham. Those who surrender to me, I shall not only give them what they want, what they think, what they ask for, or they would just wish. A thought comes to their mind, but I will make sure that I will protect them. Nobody will be able to take them away. Mahavatar Babaji, Krishna, Divine Mother, our beloved Guru Devas, with their blessings and the protection to take us through this journey. And it is said in the Vedanta, it explains that, once you travel through the Vedanta, and when you couple with all the four yogas, you would, with your sincerity, attain oneness in this life alone. And after that, as per the most of the religions, after death, there is a life. Some religions like Islam and Judaism, etc., don't talk about that there is rebirth, but a life after birth is all religion talks about. And how to make that life better is most of the religion practices is all about. In the ancient Sanatana Dharma, which accepts all religion, and particularly with the rich heritage of the Vedanta, which you and I are all applying along with Patanjali, along with Bhakti and Karma, we are establishing that with these we are not just taking the journey for the future life, not like the Bhakti Yoga that, dial 1-800 so and so number. You'll find this signboard in friendly places in US and Europe that after death, heaven, if you do this. But what the rich heritage of Vedanta, which you and I are understanding and bringing up our soul, making it sharper and sharper of logic, knowledge, to cut through those ignorances. Why future? Why not right now? Why not right now in this country, in this body, in this mind, with this family, with the people, and remove the suffering? So we have some nice questions. Let us take them on. I'll switch on to the little bit of presentations which we have made. So in this, the questions and answers on the Vedanta of right now, the first question which has come is that he firmly believes that there is no universe out there. It is only exists in our consciousness, which we have been talking about, that the universe vanishes if you're unconscious, if you're in coma. If I'm dead, I have zero consciousness. If I'm in coma, very little consciousness, it is there. If I'm unconscious, slightly better consciousness. If I'm in deep sleep, slightly better consciousness. And that's how when I wake up from deep sleep, I say, wow, I had a wonderful sleep. And stages goes on up to when I'm not focused, I'm awakened. So during this time, he said, he's understood it, that we are saying that the universe doesn't exist if you're not conscious. If it is so, his principle of the biocentrism, he's saying it is possible to experience this consciousness, the Turiya. The recollect, the name Turiya, the word, it actually comes, the Turiya means, in Sanskrit, it means the fourth. The fourth. So what do we have? The fourth as we go along. Is it possible to experience the Turiya even temporarily? The answer straight is yes and no. Now, how can it be yes and no? Let us take on a little recap on we are all of us living human being, human consciousness are in 4 states. Jagrat, right now, we are talking, understanding, exchanging with the consciousness, with our mind, with the mind which has got intelligence, which has got memory, which has got ego, mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, with which we send up with the brain, through the 5 senses, receive the world from outside with the senses, through the brain, we experience. So I experience this clock. How? The eye picks it up, light falls on it, the light comes and enters my eye, not the clock, I will go blind. And then through the image, it goes into the brain neurons. Neurons make a connection. And through the help of the mind, the intellect, it discriminates and the memory recollects this to be a Seiko watch and tells me this is the watch. And I know it's a watch. So with that, I'm experiencing the world in Jagrat. Then it's the dream state. The mind, with which whatever it has been going on, as per Vedanta, the richest heritage that we have, it's the mind itself is playing around with another mind, another body. The body is lying in the bed, the mind is now playing up and creating another body, another mind, another country, another place, and experiencing the scenery. And we realize it as we wake up, because we say now, that was only a dream. And if the dream was very good, we say, oh, it was only a dream, meaning I got ₹1,000,000 or a daughter, a crorepati in a dream, or dancing in some beautiful place and owning some beautiful car and a house, and you're having a great time. And he said, oh, it was only a dream. And if it was a horrible thing, we said, thank God it was a dream. And then comes the deep sleep, sushupti. All these three stages is what you and I are living every moment of our life, right? And the fourth is the Turiya, which we have been practicing through meditation, that the true state, the Turiya, is the seed state of our consciousness, which through the deep sleep gives birth. In deep sleep, refresh the memory, no mind, no senses, only consciousness in a seed state, which now gives through the mind in the dream state and the awakened state that we are experiencing the world. Dream, awaken, and deep sleep. The Turiya is the awareness, another name for the consciousness, is experiencing through the senses, through the mind, through the body, like I experienced the clock in the awaken, everything around the world, the universe. In the dream state, similarly, with the mind playing up, and in the deep sleep state, no mind, no senses, only absolute blankness, meaning absence of all experience. Now, can I experience Turiya? So, experience. What is experience? I experience the clock. I experience the clock because of the light falling on it and entering through the optical lenses of my eye, my visual organ, and through the brain. So experience requires what? It requires consciousness, mind, brain, senses, and an object. So, straight answer is no. Why? Because Turiya is not an object. Turiya is the fourth, is the consciousness, is subject, is the drashta. It is not a drishya. You cannot experience it. So straight answer is no. And again, yes. Why is it yes? It is possible to experience Turiya temporarily if you can experience the Turiya with our knowledge of the Vedanta. We understand that same consciousness through the experience in the fourth state. What are we doing? Whatever I'm experiencing in the Jagrat state, if I am not ignorant, let's say I'm experiencing this light. Light falls in my eye, I visualize it. I don't need a special Gurudev's blessing, God's Divine Mother's blessing to say, you are experiencing light. All I have to do is not be blind. That means not be ignorant. If I'm blind, even if there is sunlight around, I don't know. So ignorance must be removed with the knowledge, cutting the soul with our Jnana Yoga, which is Vedanta. We know this is the eye. It's not the physical blindness. It is the intellectual, spiritual blindness. So with that, I experience the light. Anything else? I experience love, hatred, joy, compassion, doing good to the people, all in the mind. But I'm experiencing it because they're also object. Anything that you can experience is an object. Object, what is an experience? Consciousness plus object. Refab, all our earlier doing. Now, if I have cut through the blindness part of it, that consciousness has given me that this is Turiya, with which you're aware of your body, of the things around, of the people around, everything. So if I know that I cannot experience it until and unless my Turiya consciousness is there, so I know it. Now, it is like something like like supposing I want to, let's say, experience, I go to the ocean, I see the ocean, the waves, think, do I need my Guru's special blessing, Babaji's blessing to see some water? Now, I need to be introduced to water. Supposing I'm a child, I've never seen water, I don't know, I'm a baby, I don't know. So, I have to be introduced to water. I have to know about water. Water is there. In the wave, in the ocean, everywhere there is water. I don't need to see with special grace of my Guru or God or the Divine Mother to see in a clay pot, clay. I need to be aware. I'm seeing it. I have to recognize it. I have to be introduced to it. This is clay or gold in a gold ornament. With me? So this is the second part of it. So this is why Vivekananda is saying that you cannot experience it, Turiya, but he goes there and said, but don't go away with the feeling. Let me read it out to you. That the ultimate reality consciousness is unknown. It is more than known. Why? Because you are dealing with it every moment of your life, of your awakened life. Every moment, till we are not dead, meaning consciousness becomes zero. What happens during the death? Slightly off, but body stays, which is physical body, Annamaya Kosha stays, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, and Manomaya. Three koshas are the ones called the Sukshma Sharira. That goes away, and the Anandamaya Kosha, these are the four koshas, they go away and supposed to, as per most of the religious practices and the knowledge, takes birth again and again and again. Physical body has gone. Now, through every experience, when we realize, being aware with the Vedantic knowledge, where we don't have to be blind, nobody has to say, if you do like this, you will go to heaven. Now, our point is, heaven is right now, here, this moment. We create the heaven. And the sufferings in the world which is going on, we have another question on that. We will deal with it. So, any experience is just temporary. It is only this, that learning through the consciousness, through the senses, through the mind and the brain, we experience the world. Turiya, being aware. And now, through our meditative, Vedantic meditation, when we take on those steps of Asanga Aham. I'm reminding myself, my mind, that I am totally detached. Like the mother, a young mother, who whole day is playing with nothing else but the baby. But even her hand falls away from the baby when she becomes asanga in deep sleep. And very happily, she's very happy that I've got up to deep sleep. She doesn't say, oh my God, I'm getting detached from my baby. I don't want to sleep. She's very happy. You and I telling ourselves, I am Asanga. Which is this I? The big I, the consciousness. The small I, Mano Buddhi Chitta Ahankar, is experiencing this body and all that. And going into through the experiences of the meditative, experiencing awareness or Turiya or consciousness through my awakened state. I am experiencing this world in my meditation, this world around me, the people, the dolphin, the dog, the ocean, the mountain, my wife, my husband, my children, my people, my parent are nothing else but the same consciousness with name, body, and form. I am experiencing it because of my awareness and because of my mind, intellect, senses. I'm aware, but aware only because of my consciousness. I'm aware of my dream, similarly, only because of my consciousness. I'm aware of the blankness of experience, darkness of experience in deep sleep because of my awareness. When I do that in my meditative state, understand this is the third part. My mind becomes calm. Even for you and me, monkeys like you and me with the beginning, restless people, but we are taking up with the blessings of the Divine Mother, Babaji, Krishna, God and Guru, we are experiencing that silence, that calmness of the Turiya. Momentarily, to maybe a little longer, your body is becoming absolutely still. You're holding the pitcher of bowl brimmed with water, but the water is not spilling because body is not moving. This experience is coming because you get connected to that Turiya in which you're already always in, but you're not experiencing it consciously. So, yes, you can experience it two ways. One is being aware in whatever activities we are doing, knowing that I can only do it because I'm awakened, I'm not blind, I'm not ignorant. Asatoma Satkamaya, unreal to real. Tamas, ignorance, to Jyoti Gamaya, wisdom of light of knowledge. I know this world, the dream state, the deep sleep state is because of my Turiya. But in my meditative state, strongly, the intuitive feeling will come in to say, yes, this is Turiya. I am aware. Maybe glimpses till we come to the state of the enlightenment. So you realize it is me, the pure subject. Therefore, it cannot be objectified. It cannot be experienced, but I am aware. I know about it. So, no, it cannot be experienced ever like an object, but you can know about it, understand it, become aware. Now, clear about this? Come in, second question. Why does Rigdrishya Viveka, you remember we talked a lot on Rigdrishya Viveka, Vidyaranya who had written it. It is expected, everybody thinks. Some people had thought it was written by Shankaracharya, but the language of Rigdrishya Viveka and Shankaracharya's Karikas and Vashya, there is a difference. Vidyaranya is about 700 years ago from now. Shankaracharya is about 13 to 1400 years ago. So they feel that it is Vidyaranya's language. And it is not written down anywhere. And he says in that there is something called Abhacheda theory. This is a little technical, but very interesting to know. If you go over this, what we have, I'm preparing these, the PPT and sending it to all of you so that all of us, with the blessings of the Mother and our Guru and Babaji and Krishna, will learn and progressively to refer to them. It takes about 2-3 times to go through it to understand little technical term. Abhacheda theory is the only one which experienced the Jiva and the Turiya, and it's called the Chidakasha is the only one which is explains that the jiva and not the other theories such as the Chidakasha conception of the jiva. Don't get put off by the little, but Drigdishya Viveka is talking about this three theory. I will get into the three theories, very simple. It goes into Drigdishya Viveka in Totra number 32. Now, why has this come up? Why is the question? The question came about, which is you and I keep worrying about and doubtful and keep on getting bombarded. That if consciousness is one, understand this, consciousness is one. You and I are supposed to be oneness, no separatedness. Separatedness causes samsara, causes suffering, causes sickness and disease. So I don't want separatedness. But how do I understand oneness of this consciousness? Because consciousness, if it is one, how do I feel separate? I'm feeling separate from you and you and you and those objects and the stable and the mountain. Everybody thinks about separate existence. How does one consciousness become so many? And this understanding in the modern world is the people are continuously getting questioning about. Now, there are three theories. One is called the Adhyasa. Now, this Abhyasa is the appearance theory. This is one of the theory which is kind of known to be, just a second, yeah. And this is in the Shankaracharya's time. Firstly, out of these three theories, which one is correct? Which is more real? Because the question is, apparently he is saying Drigdishya Viveka, that theory, which is the Abhicheda theory, he's talking about that is the one which is correct. All three are correct. And all three are supported by the great masters, particularly Shankaracharya. And these are applicable to you and me in the modern day's life, right now, today. So it is important for us to just understand it. It might sound a little tricky for once or twice, but it's not very difficult. If a monkey like me can understand, you can too. So, all these three theories have been supported by Shankaracharya in Brahma Sutra, in his Karikas, and in the Vedanta. All three are correct. Now, which is this three? That basically to explain, to understand how one consciousness is appearing as so many. So if you look at it, that big question, one consciousness, how does it appear? We also feel as separate being, separate conscious being. You feel my consciousness is mine. I'm in deep sleep. I'm not conscious. That guy is conscious either way. How come we are different? It's a very good question. So Gita also goes ahead and explains it in Krishna's saying. He is saying, Abhibhaktam cha vivatseshu viviktam ta charitram. It means basically is that undivided, yet appearing, I am undivided, yet appearing to be divided in all. And this is what is Krishna's message to Arjuna. He is talking about, I am undivided in all being, yet I appear to be divided. And this is what is the power of the wisdom, Jnana Yoga, Vedanta knowledge. Recollect, Vedanta is Bhagavad Gita, is Brahma Sutra, is Upanishad. All three put together is the Vedanta. So, three different answers by three different schools. Which are these schools? Now, the first school which comes in, like our concept, what we are talking about through the Vedanta, there are three disciples. The most favorite disciple of Shankaracharya, as it is written down, his name is Padmapada. Padmapada is very famous, and number one, it is said that the Shankaracharya saw so much of potential in him and he cared for him so much that once he called, why is his name Padmapada? He was on the other shore of the river and Shankaracharya called him. Now, Padmapada was looking for a boat or something to come, but Shankaracharya, with his power of the Guru, he gave him a message. And Padmapada, he started to walk on top of the water as it is written down. And wherever he would put his foot, a lotus will bloom and lotus will take its weight. And he walked on the lotus from one end of the river to the other, bank of the river to the other bank. And that's why he became Padmapada. Padmapada is the one who came out with this reflection theory. And reflection theory comes from a Vivarana school. And the other one is called the Jagannath Mishra, a very saintly person. He came out with the Abhacheda theory, and you must have seen Drigdrishya Viveka, and it is why we call it Drigdrishya Viveka, because he follows the Abhacheda Vidya 700 years ago, Vidyaranya. Apparently he follows that, which talks about Chidakasha and things like that. Our mind, we say mind, Chidakasha. And generally the Abhyasa, which is appearance, it appears. Pratibimba is reflection, like a mirror. And Abhacheda is the limitation theory. So let us understand these a little bit of the separate consciousness being. How is it being divided is the question to understand. The Abhachedavada, the limitation theory, in which is talking about one undivided sky. If you look at the slide, imagine I look at the sky. Sky is beautiful, powerful, beautiful. I see the sky. But if I see the sky through my hand, I'm looking through the sky. Now see, the sky will appear to be divided because of my finger, because I'm seeing it through eye. In other words, what? In other words, the paradigm. I'm changing the paradigm. Sometimes when you're lying down in your bed and you're looking at the sky through the window, and the window grills have got various circles and squares, and all of us have been through an idle type through the window, and we have looked at the sky. Sky appears to be divided. Now, this division is called the Abhacheda theory, limitation theory. But the sky is one undivided, one consciousness. How does it appear as many? Is the explanation, no? What is the explanation? Why are they explaining that? How come one consciousness? I'm supposed to be seeing everybody is one with me, oneness, and we are not separated. How can we do that? So to understand that, Abhacheda theory says, because we look through different levels of knowledge, ignorance, I look through different paradigm. And then, actually there is no division in the sky, but the appearance is why? Because of the Maya. Maya is the one which made the rope looks like a snake. Remember, it has got two. One is the projection and appearance. So Vikshepa and that appearance, which is making it look and projection. And the reason part, Maya can divide it in many ways. Maya can. So Maya is the one which is making the sky, which is the consciousness, appearing as many. Nama, Rupa, Babhara, name, body, form, function, making it separate. So trying to explain to us, Shankaracharya's disciples, about 1000 to 1200 years ago, 1200 years rich are these three. All three are correct. It is only understanding which one. Then the second theory is Pratibimba. in the Pratibimba, imagine you have 12 pots, okay? 12 pots, 12 garden pots with water in it. And those pots are like our physical body. The water in it is the Sukshma Sharira, Mano Buddhi Chitta Ahankar, and in which, in this daytime, you will see a little sun. One sun is the real up there sun, but that one sun is reflecting in these 12 pots as 12 different suns. But in the Pratibimba theory, in the reflection theory, he is talking about, and that is Padmapada. By the way, if you recollected earlier, his school is the one which we all follow today in the worldwide, Padmapada's theory, Shankaracharya's. Generally, those are the concepts that are taken more and more by modern people today, like you and me. He's saying those each sun in each pot, also, though it is reflection, it is not true. Not true. It is also a little sun. It is also have a little property of the sun, and it is lighting up the water and heating up the water. The water will become warm because of the effect of the sun, which is in that pot. So the pot is the body, Sthula Sharira. The water is the Sukshma Sharira, and the consciousness is that Turiya, is the sun reflecting there. This is how one sun is appearing as so many, is a reflection theory of Padmapada, which is generally followed by most people, though all three are correct. But we feel comfortable with that theory. This is how one man in the home, one woman in the home looks at so many people, but enlightened ones sees different body, but sees that one consciousness, one Atman, one soul in everyone, one God. And this is what it says, God is everywhere. That is, consciousness is everywhere. So this is how is the second theory. The third theory, in which is talking about, in the third theory is also like the moonlight. It's the sun's light. We know the moonlight is sun's light, but it is still real light. It is glowing up the light. So, third theory is talking about the Abhyasa, in which the appearance theory is talking about, look, it's the mirror. You're seeing your face, like this child in this slide that I put it up. That reflection on the mirror is not real you. So, in which Jagannath Mishra ji, a very saintly person, he says, look, it looks as different, but it is not real. His theory is, it is not real. In reflection theory, they say it is real. It is separate. And we find it more comfortable because we know our wives and husbands and children and the people and the friends and everything else is real. Each wave is real. They all have water. Different ocean, different water, river, puddle in the street. Everything has got one water, one consciousness. So we find it. He's saying, look, if this reflected face resembles the real face, looks true, you use it for everything. But tell me something. He's saying that if the mirror is cracked, your face looks cracked, but your face is not cracked. If the mirror is dirty, somebody comes and cleans them the mirror. Is he cleaning up your face? No. Good theory, good logic. If the mirror is cracked, your face looks cracked. Mirror is dirty, your face looks dirty. Mirror is broken, your face looks broken. Your face is not broken. So it is in the, he is talking about the Abhyasa Vada. This is the sun reflecting. Notice the sun looks and heating up the water, and it is got the properties of the sun. And this is the one in the Digdishya Viveka, possibly written by Vidyaranya, as we had talked about. You're not just a little dot in the water. You are also actual sun. So telling us, everybody around us are not just, they're also real. They're also true. Getting on with it. So the relationship between you and the face in the mirror, what is it? No relationship. The face in the Abhachedavada is in the face in the mirror, and you, what is it? Recollect. Vranti darshan. It is just ignorance. There is no relationship at all. If the face, anytime it comes in front of a mirror, there will be a reflection. That's the mirror. Mirror is the mind in which you're getting reflected. So the state of your mind, whether it is cracked, whether it is dirty, whether it is pure, whether it is platinum polished mirror, very clear, pure mind, like a baby's mind, like an enlightened master's mind, it looks brilliant and nice. Now, so over here, what is the relationship? Vranti darshan, only ignorance, stupidity. Second question, we have a little time. We'll deal with the second question. And third, second question, the question is very important, very powerful. It's talking about the free will. This is the third question. Free will is asked to a Jivan Mukta. It is said that the humans have no free will as such. Everything is predestined, and the question is, if so, how the karma and the results of karma applicable in human being? Yours and my question is, look, I don't know what have I done in the past. Why am I suffering in this? Why have I got sickness and disease and my painful relationships and finance problem and money problem? I never say when I got lots of money and lots of happiness and very good relationship, I don't say why me, but I say why me when I'm suffering. So the question is that, is this applicable to human being? That is, I do not recollect my past karma. Why should I reflect it? I'm ignorant about it. I don't remember it at all. So, should we suffer? Is it correct? And why does we actually suffer? That's the question. So, taking on the questions, see, the karma is cause and effect. They're very simple. Karma, we may not remember it. First, we'll deal with the answer with the karma. The other thing is the real world. We'll deal with it later. It's connected. Now, our past life, we have done something in the past. Everything that you do, it has to have an effect. And it will come onto you. In Bhagavad Gita says, for thousands of lives, it will continue till you have no desire left, no prarabdha karma left, then only you are free. But the next birth, if you have desires left, next birth will come. The prarabdha karma that you are creating now will go on to the next birth. This is for birth and rebirth part of it. Now, is it really right for God, for supreme consciousness, divinity, infinite world, to make us suffer for something which we don't remember? So the answer is very simple. I go and kill someone, maybe in my drug state, deep sleep state or something. I don't remember anything. Does the memory have anything to do with the suffering, for the punishment? The law will catch me, because they say this body mind, you may say I am not the body mind, I am the consciousness, I didn't do it. Now, you have to suffer the consequences for whatever you have done. Whatever karma is created by you, you alone, cause and effect, have to pass through those, in which experience will continue. Notice what makes us generally the memory. How does it help? If I know I have done it and I know it is not good, memory helps us to say, no, it's not good, you shouldn't do it. We generally tend to work like that. But have you seen repetitive offenses, even by you and me? I put in the alarm, 3 o'clock I want to get up, and every day when the rings, I will say 5 minutes. And I know, my Viveka tells me that, look, you have to have vairag from this laziness. Detach yourself from the body. You are ready to go for your sadhana. But you say 5 minutes. And some days you don't. Some days you say, no, I'm going to get it. When you've had a proper rest, as per your body is supposed to be requiring. Mind says, all right, today I'm happy. Let's go. Atman, let's go. And consciousness, do some practices of yoga and meditation. But we are repeating. So many people are suffering from repeated same offense. You can't say that because he doesn't remember, he cannot be punished. So now comes in that karma will have effect. Why are we suffering? But what creates this suffering? The actual answer the Vedanta gives, very interesting. And honestly, I have been continuously reading about this and understanding it is the karma, prarabdha karma, boomerang karma, like that. Various types of karma. But the Vedanta goes ahead and says, it is not your karma, which makes you suffer. Then what is it? Suffering is true. We are suffering. We are enjoying, we are suffering. Good, bad. Whatever comes, Vivekananda's word, it has to happen. Then what makes us not suffer? Knowledge, wisdom, Viveka. That's why Vedanta. What happens? Understand our meditative process. We were suffering while sitting down for meditation. Through Jagrat to going into a trance-like state where we are silencing our body, mind, thoughts, focusing. We were doing it. We were restless. We had to move. Something was paining, something was itching, something said, no, get up. That window is throwing a lot of strong wind. Close it. No, switch on the AC. No, switch off the AC. Mind was troubling us a lot, like a monkey. Remember the story of Vivekananda, the monkey, which is jumping around the branch to branch, and then it is eaten. That flame of the forest flower, the big red flower with dried up leaf. You see in India, lots of every forest. And then, the bears, the jackals and the monkeys love to eat them. And he's got drunk. It's very intoxicating. And he's fallen down from the tree. And the worst is, Vivekananda explaining human mind is like that. It's like that monkey. Now he is drunk, and now the monkey is fallen down. The whack of the ground hitting is one pain, and on top of that, a scorpion which was under the dry leaf from the tree, the leaf that fallen, is now bitten him in the bottom. Imagine the poor monkey. Poor monkey is screaming with the pain and jumps up and climbs up in the drunken state in the tree. And the worst is now, Vivekananda says that the monkey, there is a ghost in the tree which enters the monkey's body now. And that is the state of a human mind. That is the state with which we are suffering. Now, what happens when you get aligned in your meditative state with the Turiya? suddenly you come to that calm state, and which, as we practice steadfastly with our sadhana, that state will increase, and state of the bodiless Jagrat or deep sleep and Sushupti state will start to merge into the Turiya. And even during the daytime, whatever you're doing, your mind will always remember Supreme Consciousness, Brahman, Divine Mother, Jagat Janani, Krishna, Babaji, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Guru Devas. You always have a smile. You look at the people doing terrible things and you say it is not, it is their mind and the body. And you have a gentle smile and you accept their nonsense just like the mother does. In Vedanta and Holy Mother, there's a beautiful book I've shared with you all many a time, in which Holy Mother says, have you noticed simple earthly mother, even animal mother, tolerate their children's nonsense so much? She's got a smile. She knows it is nonsense, but she accepts it. Just like that, the great masters, how have they done it? They realize, I am not this body. So, straight example, Jesus Christ, neck was chopped off. Just before dying, he was lashed, he was hung, crucified, and yet he's saying, God, please forgive them. Forgive these children. They do not know what they're doing. And he resurrected himself on the Easter Sunday and traveled around, came to India, lived for 17 years, continued to spread this word of eternal love. That happens when you know that you are not this mind, not this body, and you're aware through the Viveka, cutting sword of the knowledge, through this body-mind concept. Yes, I will take care of my body. I'll take care of my mind. I shall not do those wrong things through good karma yoga, through bhakti yoga. I will always do my practices with which help me to steadfast. But I am that. Let me get connected to that. And then you will say, even though I have attained nirvana, I don't have to take rebirth again and again, but I want to take rebirth again and again and again and come and work with my brothers and sisters in the mankind and help them to reach this state. Let everyone be blessed with the wisdom of the Vedanta and manifest that divinity in every walk of life. The great message of Swami Vivekananda in 2 simple sentences. I keep referring to you all. Preach into the mankind, share with the mankind the divinity in everyone. And second statement part, establish that divinity in every walk of life, in everything that we do. Look at Paramahamsa Ramakrishna, suffering from throat cancer, dying. 3 days later, he died. Hari Maharaj, Turiya Maharaj comes in, young brahmachari then, and said, Thakur, kemon acho? How are you feeling? Thakur says, throat is paining, I can't eat anything. Like a cancer patient supposed to say, throat pressure. He had such a big cancer blob in his throat. He said, can't eat anything, can't sleep. Turiya Maharaj strangely said, but you are looking as if you are in bliss. Anandete achu. And Thakur, instead of saying like you and me, will say, what are you talking? You don't know what am I suffering. This is what you and I would have possibly said. Don't you know I've got cancer in my throat and all that stuff I would have said. No. Instead of that, Thakur says, Shala dhore pheleche. The rascal has caught me. That means what? He is not dwelling in that world of the body and the mind suffering. This is how this suffering is not by karma. His body is suffering with the karma. Jesus Christ's body suffered with karma. Paramahamsa Yogananda, body suffered with karma when he had, you all have read the autobiography Yogi, in Lake Shrine. He was helping work. He used to himself work with the people, with the devotees. And one rock he was trying to carry, lifted, fell on his own leg. I went to that site. I saw that they didn't fill up that hole. That hole is kept with the rock is kept. It's beautiful to be there. Go there sometimes if you can, to US and to, of course, Ranchi. Most of you have been. His leg broke and he was suffering, meaning pain and etc. But he had a smile on his face and he said, this is my karma phal. Though he is enlightened Paramahamsa. Look at Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's devotee, Turiya, same Turiyanand. You know Turiyanand once, I've shared with you all this. He had a big carbuncle, a big boil in his elbow. So the doctor came and checked it up and he said, I have to remove it. Otherwise, it's going to spoil your arm. I have to amputate it. So I have to remove that. It has got deep root. I need to give you anesthesia. Turiya Maharaj said, not required. When you want to do it, tell me. He said, I'm going to do it now. He said, okay, you can go ahead. Turiya Maharaj kept talking to his devotees and kept talking. This is way after Paramahamsa Ramakrishna left his body. And the doctor was surprised. He got lacerated, removed the wound. Turiya Maharaj was smiling, talking, didn't say anything. It so happened, the surprising thing was next day, doctor came back to dress it up. And Turiya Maharaj was again talking to his disciples. Now doctor came, he just did pranam like that, salutations, and he sat down and he started to remove the bandage. And Turiya Maharaj was caught unaware. He was so focused with the devotee, he didn't know that the doctor is come and started. It happens to you and me sometimes, no? When you're focused, working with computer or book or something. There was a monk who was reading a book, lying down, reading a book. Somebody came, another monk, brother monk, younger monk, come and said, Maharaj, what are you reading? And this was Swami Sarvapriyananda who's telling this story. And the elder monk didn't say anything. He said, Maharaj, what are you reading? And Sarvapriyananda is very fond of reading. So he took his toe and shook it. He said, Maharaj, what are you reading? Still no reaction. Then he comes and Maharaj was lying down and reading. No, he was not sleeping, he was reading. Sarvapriyananda says, I came and took the book and lifted up like that. Possibly he was a good friend, though he was senior. As he lifted up, this Maharaj did like that. And he said, oh, when did you come? He was so engrossed in that. That kind of thing has happened to you and me also sometimes. Maybe not to that extent, to some extent. I notice quite often when I'm so working, I forget about who's standing around, who's coming. And Shada Ma'am often has to come and touch my hand. It happens to you and me. Turiya Maharaj, when doctor started on the second day repairing the bandage, he howled in pain. Oh! And doctor was shocked or surprised. He said, Maharaj, I cut through your wound. Today only I am repairing it. Just changing the bandage. How come? And Turiya Maharaj looks at him and smiles and says in Bengali, Aage bolbe to. You should have told me earlier. I would have switched off my mind. So, as you practice, you will see, you will be able to cut away that mind. And you are doing it today. As you through the Vedantic meditation, you get connected to the Turiya. You know, my Jagrat state cannot be possible unless the Turiya itself is getting me connected to the Jagrat. I cannot be dreaming and remembering my dreams or not remembering my dream, but I knew I had a dream unless it was my awareness. And my deep sleep, blankness of awareness, darkness of awareness cannot be possible unless it was because of my Turiya. I am that beyond the darkness in the bright light, that Saprabha, Dvaita Varchita, alone, Asanga Aham, Asanga Aham, Asanga Aham, that light, I am that light, I am detached, I am detached. With this, you are talking to yourself and you go into that. And then imagining yourself that the Jagrut state awareness light, dream state awareness light, I am that awareness light in the deep sleep state. It is not the absence of experience, blackness, darkness. I am that light, that ball of the light. Many of you seen your aura. We used to come on Sundays. That aura, that light is who I am. And I am not separate from anyone. Though that reflection theory, etc., you saw, Pratibimba theory, Vicheda theory, all that theories are there to understand why do we feel separate. But actually I am one with all. I'm not aligned with the body and the mind, though I take care of the temple on which the idol is there. The temple is the body. I have to take care. The body of the bucket in which the Sukshma Sharira is the water, in which the Turiya is the sunlight is reflecting in those 12 pots. If the body gets old, the bucket gets old, it cracked, maybe water is leaking away. So what does the gardener do? Gets a new pot, puts that water into the new pot. And notice this very beautiful theory. As he puts into the new pot, with the water, the sun, little sun with his light, travels through the water and goes to the new pot and stays. No? It looks a little troubled. As the water becomes still, the new sun is there again. And the old pot, which is the body, is thrown away. So this is how the greatest of the sorrow, the existence problems of the human life, in the moral terms, it is taken away. Now comes whether this, do we have actual real experience of this? Do we have a free will? Yes, of course we have a free will. We have a free will with which we take on these religious practices, or don't take on the practices and watch TV and movie and waste away our time and suddenly say, what happened to me and I'm dying now. I wasted this life. So instead of wasting, we with the free will, with the focus, Viveka Vairag, Shata Sampatti, Shama, focusing calmness of the mind, Dhamma, focusing of the senses and controlling the senses, Uparati, getting this control feeling, driving within through the Turiya state, and Titiksha, not giving up. Every day, same time, same place, practicing. Throughout the day, I'm keeping my God and the consciousness in my mind with whatever I do, whoever I talk to. And Samadhana, establishing that calmness into my every existence and keeping it, that consciousness of oneness throughout the day. Shraddha, respect. Whatever I'm hearing, I may not understand it, but there must be something good in it. I don't understand what my calculus maths teacher is teaching, but I trust the book, I trust the professor. I have to practice, I have to go through it. I have to increase my understanding, and then only I will get onto it. But I will not give it up. Titiksha and Shraddha and Mumukshattam. I am going to persevere till I become one with my Turiya, with my consciousness. Now, remember, learning is not from memory. It is basically just going into the samskaras. The samskaras do what? Does the learning. When we learn from what? The mistakes. It is my good karma gives me a good viveka, which makes me discriminate good and the bad, and the suffering that does not seem to affect me so much even today. Just like in your meditative time, when you get connected to Turiya, your body becomes still. Legs are still paining, maybe still itching, but you say, no, I shall not move. You tell your mind with the Turiya, mind will say. So what does the mind require? Training. Wild elephant can throw away the mahout. He can do whatever he likes. Mahout has done the training to the wild elephant. Wild elephant is our mano, buddhi and body. Chitta, ahankar and the body. Body and the mind has taken the training. So now the mahout, the consciousness sitting on the elephant with the slightest of the pressure, takes him away from the maybe the banana grove on the right where he wants to go and eat the bananas, but he takes him to the left to the temple. What is it? Training. So suffering is due to ignorance and not because of karma. Ignorance of knowing who I am, ignorance of aligning ourselves with the mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. This is who I am with my body. And this is where the suffering goes away. Here, look at the mirror. I've just put up this for you to remember these faces. The mirror is broken. Now, enlightened and those who are not enlightened, is this different? Mirror may be broken. Mind may be broken. I know I need to purify my mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. I have to purify it. I have to do some work. I can't just let it be and keep eating me up. So, karma will give results, but for the enlightened ones, they're not, even to the enlightened ones, it is giving result. Jesus Christ, Paramahansa Ramakrishna, Buddha, Ramana Maharshi, Paramahansa Yogananda, everybody passed through. Everybody has to give up their body eventually. But it is not affecting them so much. Why? Because they're aware. They are beyond the effects of the karma. This, I've given you, the spiritual life continues. The free will is to be taken for granted. It is there with us. And we have teachings to somebody free. Free is not just money. Free is I don't want anything. I just want to see you bloom, prosper, and remove your suffering and help one more or 100 more people. That is where, when it comes from you, is the time you're going in. Take it for granted that we have free will, exercise it intimately with the free will, and take on the journey for the long run, the viveka, vairaga, shama, dhamma, uparati, titiksha, samadhana, shatta, mumukshatta, mumukshatta, mumukshatta. Give me, bless me with purity, bless me with truth. Guide me so that even in a joke, I do not tell lies. And how can it, the world will not work? The next question, we'll deal with it later. It is another very good question, but today there is no more time. Jai Guru, thank you very much. And if you all would like to, do you have any question related to whatever we have spoken, talked about before or today? Mother will answer you through me. Like Mother, Babaji, God, Divine Mother, Krishna. You know, it says so very simply, not even a leaf moves without Mother's wish, God's wish, wish of the Brahman, consciousness, Allah, Christ, Krishna, Ganesha, name whatever you call. Jal, Pani, Tanni, you in French, washer in German, all are water. All are one consciousness. You and I all are. Different body, different name, different karma. But so what? You can do to get out of it. Questions, any? Thank you very much. In this, when we realize this is that Purnamada. I find great energy in just reflecting on it. The whole Sanskrit sloka says, this is Purna, that is Purna. This is Purna, you are Purna. Purna say, Purna ka janam hota hai. And when you take away Purna from Purna, Purna alone remains. It is indivisible. And that Purna is you and I. Chant with me silently or loudly as you wish. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May each one of you be protected with the Supreme Kalpa Yogi Mahavatar Babaji's blessings. Hold your hand and guide you, protect you from adversities, remove all your obstacles, and take you from this state of multiple division, devised self to oneness. No separatedness to oneness of realization. To Krishna Yogakshema Vaham Vaham. Divine Mother, Jagat Janani, Brahma Rupi Mother, Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara, blessings of Paramahansa Yogananda, protect us, guide us, hold our hand. Sri Yukteswar Giri Lahiri Mahasaya, bless us so that we may attain that oneness with you as the supreme Turiya conscious state, that you gurus are there, always guiding us silently, ever present. Swami Sri Vivekananda, Holy Mother Sharada, Paramahansa Ramakrishna. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.